we stand so tall. When we share their voice, we won't let them fall. Jobs to build and homes to fill. That's the song of Colville.
Right, guys. Good evening. My name's Aaron, and I'm at Colville Cat, and this is another episode of Chatting the Ville. And tonight I have, to my right, I have
Ash.
Katie.
And Peter.
and Peter. And these are young people from the surrounding area. We've got a special guest all the way from Cumbria that's drove all the way down here to be involved in this podcast because it means so much to have a voice in the world as a young person. I'm lying really, but Katie now lives in
Ashby.
In Ashby, that's it, Ashby. So if we just go around and tell us a little bit about each other, about ourselves, so we're not all strangers anymore. So who'd like to start?
I can start.
Go, Peter.
So I've just finished my master's
Okay.
in sport and exercise psychology,
Yeah.
and I'm about to send in my paperwork to start my stage 2 training, which will make me a trainee sport and exercise psychologist. Probably by the time this has come out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so, what you plan to do with that?
So I want to work locally initially.
Yeah.
So I'll be working with Ashby,
Yeah.
Ashby teams.
Okay.
But the qualification requires experience in all different sports and
Yeah.
different levels. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at Birmingham, Leicester, Leicester Tigers, Birmingham City, that sort of thing.
Okay. And Katie?
I have done an acting degree and now I want to get into the theatre scene in local theatres, preferably.
Do you know Stephen Gray lives in Colville?
Oh,
The actor, the one that's in that new thing on Disney, 1,000 Blows, and he's also in that old film, This Is England. He's
Not
pretty
watched
big.
those.
Stephen Gray, a bit of a big actor, a bit of a big deal. He was Al Capone in something else as well. He's been in lots of things. He was in that adolescence program on telly.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was shot on one camera, and there's this all one continuous take. The whole
3
program.
episodes. And it's
3 episodes, 3 takes. Yeah, Stephen Graham. He lives in Colville. We'll find out where he lives in. Oh, Ash.
I'm just kind of figuring out what I want to do at the minute. I'm kind of doing various things of volunteering and work wherever I can, just taking any opportunities really.
Well, yeah, you're young enough to be able to do that, to test the waters and stuff. Right? Okay, so I'm Aaron. I'm a youth worker with lived experience. Originally from a place called Coventry. Not many people like it, especially in this kind of region. Because obviously we've got a better football team. Yes, it's true. And I'm a youth worker, and I try and give young people, young adults, the opportunities I never had, or the opportunity to have a voice in the world and to lead their futures how they want to, and give them the inspiration to do that. So I just try to assist young people in any way I can to be what they can. Now, work-wise, what's it like in this area for work? How you find it? You want to start it off?
I mean, I feel like I've been looking for jobs for the last couple years, really, with kind of no real luck, especially since I can't drive and stuff.
Yeah.
The lack of public transport around.
So the biggest barrier is travel.
Yeah, travel, and I don't know, kind of a lot of places as well will never respond to you when you apply, even if you don't
Well, we find that in the city too. We have
Yeah.
young people come to us all the time, and then part of our job is to get into employment and stuff like that. And we do job searches with them, and you sit there for hours doing these job searches, and then you sit there for other hours trying to phone these places, and then when you phone them, they're just agencies. They're not actual jobs. It's just an agency that, and these are from job centre. So it's the same issues in the city too. You know, but you know, any other barriers that you come across? Anyone else? Any other barriers or anything?
I've found that it kind of feels like jobs tend to go for either someone younger that they have to train the same amount as you just because they cost less to
Cost less.
work there. So after you hit a certain age, if you haven't figured out what you want to do or haven't
Struggle to
had
get
a job,
experience. That's interesting because I never thought of that actually.
it feels like after a certain age, if you don't have experience or haven't had a job before, and you don't know what you want to really do, it's really difficult to get one of those smaller.
Just checking if mine's working. Doesn't seem like it's working very well.
Okay, sorry.
It's difficult to get into like a minimum wage job just to get by whilst you figure out what you want to do after a while.
This is somewhat cliched, but I found that it's all about timing here. So Ashby is kind of it's almost like a nothing place.
What do you mean?
So everyone who lives in Ashby lives there because that's where they grew up. No one moves to Ashby because Ashby has a specific draw to it.
Yeah.
And it means that because we've moved back to Ashby twice. I went to Manchester for my masters. We came back to Ashby for the summer, went back to Manchester, and came back again in the winter because for a masters you finish in September. And we tried to find jobs over the summer between my masters.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find anything because everyone had come home from university.
Okay.
So Ashby was all of a sudden full.
I was saturated with people.
But when we came back in September, there was no one.
Everyone's gone back.
Everyone's just left for university, and all the jobs are now open. And then Ashby feels very empty, and it feels like there's nothing in Ashby. Ashby is just a place that you end up for a short period of time, where you go somewhere else.
But it's not a nice place to live.
It is a nice place to live, but it doesn't have its own culture.
Okay.
It's like even myself, I'm looking at Ashby as I'm here for a little bit, and then maybe I'll end up in Leicester or Birmingham.
Yeah.
But
For work and stuff.
Ashby never feels like a place that you want to stay forever. It's like a temporary stop.
Until you get old.
Until you get old.
Until you get old, it's beautiful. It's like so peaceful.
Yeah, when I don't need a job anymore.
There's no traffic. It's like it's nice, you know. I'm at the end. I'm at the age where we want to move to somewhere more quieter. So that's why it interests me because last time I spoke to Ash was like, "Yeah, city life. I'd rather be in the city.
Yes.
City life seems better." So Ash, tell us about what your thing is about because you've obviously got issues with you don't want to live in the countryside and you know you find it difficult.
No, yeah, I mean, it's living in like such a small, isolated place. Just kind of get bored of it quite quickly. It is like I think it's a great place to grow up and get old and stuff. But yeah, with like the lack of.
So the middle years. So it's okay as a kid. You have a great time. You're safe. You're out in the countryside. You're getting good air. You're getting lots of places to run around. It's good for as a little kid, and it's great as an old person because it's quiet for the same reasons. But that middle, you know, the majority of your life, it's not good enough. That's what you're saying to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You need more. So you need more. But then what if there was more there? It wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't want more there. I just want to be able to get to the places where there is more.
Okay, so it's the transport is the issue.
Yeah.
So the biggest issue we've got in it. So I just literally looked then because I struggle to get here too. Because sometimes I ride a motorbike, but when the weather's like this, I'm freezing. You know, last time I come on a motorbike, I had to borrow dealer's gloves. By the time I got home, I was freezing. My hands fell off. I glued them back on now. But it was bad. It was really bad. So I was just looking at the bus times, and they do go till 10:20 though, out. It's said, but are they regular? Do they turn up or not turn up?
A lot of the time they're quite dodgy. One that's really bad for it is the 16 from Colville to Loughborough. Half the time that just gives up.
God. Is that the Reba bus?
Yeah.
Reba pay rubbish, shouldn't they? Yeah, they do that. They're saying in Leicester, you've got the numbers on the board, says it's going to be in 2 minutes, and then 5 minutes pass and it's not even coming.
Yeah.
Never going to come. Okay, so what part? Where do you live, Ash?
Worthington.
Worthington. Okay, and that's similar to Ashby.
No, very different.
What, even less?
Yeah, it's just a bare bones village. Nothing there other than a pub and a
Okay.
shop.
Okay, and the road that goes through it.
Yeah,
Kind of thing. Yeah.
good few houses.
Yeah. Okay. So if you Ash, so if you could move to the city, well, you can if you want to, but if you did move to the city, what do you think your benefits of living in the city would be versus where you live now or Colville?
Well, I think more job opportunities, more nightlife, more like kind of social events or gatherings I can find myself at and like make friends and stuff. And
Yeah, like-minded people.
yeah,
Stuff like that, yeah.
or even not like-minded people, because
Or
I think
just
that's a problem in a small area like that. You're in kind of an echo chamber, like everyone who like the majority of the people in my village, old white people,
Yeah.
and so you don't hear a lot of different perspectives on life, and I think that's a great part of a city, having it be kind of a melting pot of culture where you can learn different things from different people.
Well, I'm from Coventry, and we're a city. We're a little bit smaller than Leicester, but everything's really close. So it's like you can cross a road and you could be in a different area. And it's literally, there's no space. Like Leicester's got a lot of space between areas, a lot of parks. And I noticed that as soon as I got there, I was like, wow, a lot of parks, a lot of spaces. So it's like, you could be in one area, something goes on in another area. So when it comes to things like racism and integration, Coventry was just that my whole life. It was just that everyone was together. And there wasn't, I don't recall ever really hearing anything really prejudiced or racist, because we all had to just get along. But when I come to Leicester, and it was like, oh, we're the multicultural city of the country, we've got a majority of ethnicity here. And I was like, oh, that's great, because I've never been here like that. Okay, so let's see. And then I worked on the market. I was a market cleaner for like 7 years. In the city centre, and that's when I noticed that it might be very multicultural, but it's also very racially divided, and the market was like a map of that. So you'd have people that sold fruit and veg, predominantly white, working class from like New Parks, Braunston, and them kind of areas, and then you'd have the clothing areas, or they sell hats, clothing, trinkets, Rizzlers, that kind of thing. They were all Asian. And then you had the people that sold the second-hand stuff, or the bric-a-brac. They were mostly like everywhere else. Eastern European, Spanish, people from everywhere. But none of them communicate. They're all in the same market, and none of them talk to each other. The fruit and veg people stuck to themselves. The Asian people at the bottom of the clothes and stuff stuck to themselves. And the rest of the world people stuck to themselves. And it was like, but you're all together, and I thought it was a multicultural city. Like, you're still racially divided. And Brexit had a massive, that's when I was like, yeah, I don't want to work anymore. Yeah. Because I started here, the moment they started the process of like, let's vote to get out, it turned very nasty down there.
Yeah.
And it showed, the truth came out. And, it was like, you was here, the people at the Free Red saying, yeah, them down there, they can go home. And, stuff like that kind of rhetoric. I don't want to go into it on here, but that's a sort of racially, so yeah, to me, Leicester is very multicultural, but at the same time, it is very racially divided, segregated. So it ain't always a good thing to have a melting pot, That's just my opinion. What about you guys?
I personally believe the melting pot is better. I think it's just how it's implemented.
Yeah.
I think I think Leicester essentially has this issue is it says it's a melting pot because everyone lives there, but it doesn't actually create the culture melting pot. It causes these divides where people get divided up into this is your area, this is someone else's area. And
I'm just going to change the wire because it's a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
You just keep talking.
Yeah.
Please.
So yeah, I feel that Leicester has this issue where it's almost like it's become culturally divided, despite being so many people in so many areas. Whereas, and it needs something that brings everyone together. It needs that cultural heart to the city. Maybe it's
football and stuff like that. The sports play a role in it.
exactly. Sports is a very obvious example of if you look at somewhere like they've got sporting facilities everywhere.
Yeah.
I know basketball is a very American thing, but it's something that you can just build and people can use.
So it's quite popular at the moment in Leicester. Basketball's got a bit more popular.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So so more sporting facilities. When we were in Stoke for my undergraduate, we lived right next to a park, and in the middle of that park was tennis facilities, basketball facilities. I think there was something to do with football there as well. And that's just in the middle of a park. And then you have
Oh, that's better. It's working now.
effectively you have groups that you can just, oh, I'm interested in basketball. People are playing basketball. I can walk up and
Yeah.
say, I want
Can
to play basketball.
Can I join in?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's what you could do. You could walk.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to speak because it's work. So before I wasn't on the mic. Oh wow, I'm on mic now. It works.
But
Yeah.
in Ashby, for example, the only place you can do that is there's a football field with goals that the nets have been worn out so much that you can't play football on it anymore because you have to chase the ball whenever someone scores.
That's the best part about football in a small place.
It's not. It's horrible.
But if you want to use the areas with the nets actually working, the caged off areas, you have to book that in advance. If you
Okay.
want to play badminton or tennis or anything like that, you have to book that in advance. So you have to know people and then go somewhere rather than just going somewhere to meet people.
Well, yeah, Leicester does have them caged areas around in the areas, but a lot of the kids that I deal with that love basketball hate them caged areas because they don't like the multi football. It's like a cut out goal,
Yeah.
and then the basketball that's above it. They go, if I try and go up to dunk it or anything, I'm gonna crash into the thing. It's like it's not. You know what I mean? It's not
built properly.
It's not purpose built properly. You know.
Yeah, you need to You need to make them specific to the sport as well. You have to. You have a basketball court and a football court.
Yeah.
It feels like almost an element of laziness. Like, oh, we can just cram everything into one, and then we only need the one, and that one thing can be there. But then if someone's playing basketball on it, you can't go and play football on it.
Yeah. So here we are. We've got 3 young people that are both saying in the areas, there's nothing to do, it's boring. But you've got 3 young people here that could do something, start something yourselves. And you could make it less boring because you've got 3, you know what I mean? One person on their own, and then, 2 people, we've now got a conversation. 3 people, we've got a crew. 4 people, we've got a team. So there are things you can do together. And I mean, Dina's got you involved in a lot of stuff here, right? And so how is Colville Can? Because Katie's going to start volunteering here, right?
Yes.
So how does what's Colville Can done for you personally, mentally, in any way? Like what? Really sell it. Tell us what they've done for you, or not, if they've done nothing.
I mean, for me personally, I really haven't been here long, less than a month. But I mean, already just I think being able to come here and do volunteering and meet new people and kind of just have something to get out of bed for, that has helped me a lot. Mentally, and I think they do a lot of great stuff here because I think community organization and having free third spaces for young people to go to is what protects them from being isolated
It's important.
and struggling with mental health or going into crime and stuff like that.
Drugs, alcohol.
Yeah.
Even just vaping or smoking. We all know that smoking cigarettes or vape, it is bad for you and it has long-term effect. It's probably more worse for you than going down the pub or taking drugs because it's going to ruin your insides. But we still do it. I mean, I smoke and a lot of people do. But when you're young, it's boredom and peer pressure that leads you to that, right?
Yeah.
I started smoking when I was 11, when I was 11 years old. And that was because someone older than me was smoking. And I just thought it was cool. And it was cool to go and nick my mum's cigarettes. And we'd go and nick my mum's cigarettes. And it was cool. And you get caught, you get battered. But it was cool to do that at the time. But if I knew what I knew now, I never would have started. And now I'm just stuck I'm a cigarette addict, and I'm just stuck in that cycle. I can't get out of it. I wish I could. I've tried everything, but so but that was boredom. Just try, yeah. So Colville Can is good to give young people the opportunity. Not just young people. They do also. They do little kids, older kids, young people. They do elderly sessions. They do adult sessions, send sessions, all sorts of sessions. Yeah. So these places are important. So what advice? Like, I know you've only been here about a month, but Katie's going to start doing some volunteering soon. What are you going to be doing, by the way?
Next week I'm gonna be taught how the stuff behind the desk and
You're going to do something.
welcoming people, but
Okay.
hopefully I'll.
Do you have any skills? Like, can you use the sewing machine? Any arty skills or anything like that?
I have used a sewing machine before, but it was a long time ago.
Because what you got to think about in this building, I look at this building now, and Colville Can has, it's a building that you can come and do things in, and pretty much as long as you can imagine it and it's safe and it ain't mad, then they will let you do it here, and they'll be happy to support you. So I look at this building. So if you've got a passion or a hobby, it's always good to share. So I always tell young people, if you've got a passion, say you want to play computer games, you're good at GTA or you're good at coding or you can do this, go to Colville Can, tell them you can do that. They will try and find the resources and allow you to share that knowledge. So if you have got skills, you can share the knowledge here, and it's a good way of just paying it forward, and because goodness brings goodness, badness brings badness. So you do good, and what goes around comes around, right?
Yeah.
So if you put something good out, it's going to come back to you somewhere along the line when you most need it, not when you expect it. That's what I've learned. Karma always comes back when you least expect it. So if you put good karma out, at some point, good's going to come back to you when you most need it, and it's going to be a blessing. And so that's how I look at life. But yeah, Colville Can has many opportunities. So you've been here a month. What could Katie expect to, pros and cons?
I mean, pros and cons. Cons, I guess the only ones I've experienced at the moment, sometimes people just having no idea where things are.
Yeah.
Just a bit of lack of
organisation
for.
But what's the pros then? What's Katie could expect,
The pros, I mean, I think everyone here is lovely. I think there's loads and loads of different opportunities, and if you've got the time, someone asks you to do something, say yes. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Because you get the opportunity, and you're getting to learn something that you never thought you might not like.
Yeah, I never thought I'd sit in this room and do a podcast about this, but I've just been saying yes to things.
Well, that's a good way forward, right? So it's like, just try new things. Like these two guys, they just literally just caught them on the way out the door.
Yep.
Like, we want to go. I'm like, what are you doing? How old are you? And they come again, a podcast? Okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Why not? Have a conversation. Have some laughter. Smile. It's something better to do. We go home tonight. At least we've done something different, and we've had a conversation. We've met new people, and that's what life's about. I think meeting new people and experiencing life. You can't do that if you're not speaking and you're not meeting people. You can't do that. Been talking for 23 minutes already, so it goes quite quick, doesn't it? What else are we going to talk about? Any issues?
I can talk more about the Colville Can and how helpful
Go on,
I find
Come
it.
on, Ash.
So I'm going to take a little bit of credit from my parents.
Okay.
Because we set up the board game club at Colville Can.
Oh, did you? Okay. Was that like the board games where you have that mad dice with loads of numbers on it?
Yeah.
And you do just figures?
Yes, lots. Well, there's lots of board games.
So I went to one of them shops in town in Leicester. They have but I was just amazed because they have the big boards out.
Yes.
People going everywhere. I'm like, that looks wicked. What they're doing? And I went in there to say, can I get involved? No, it's not for you. No, why? I want to play. It looks great. What are you doing? It looks strategic. They wouldn't let me play. So
yeah, we play a lot more of the smaller board games because of space and time.
like Monopoly.
No, we don't play Monopoly. We don't like Monopoly.
You
It
don't like
cause
Monopoly.
arguments.
Yeah.
Scrabble.
Scrabble, again, it's still, we're talking a bit more advanced than Scrabble. So Takenoko, Catan,
What are these? What's
I don't know.
Takenoko?
these.
it's a game about
Feeding a panda.
feeding a panda. So
Feeding a panda.
there's a real life story where China gifted a panda to the Emperor of Japan.
Yeah, they'll see it on the news every day.
Yeah.
And they're sending them back now.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's a huge diplomatic error to kill a panda, then the Japanese emperor had to spend all this money to keep this one panda alive.
It's a what?
It's because it's a gift and pandas
Yeah.
are quite rare. You can't let the panda die, but they
Yeah.
don't know how to look after pandas in Japan. And so the whole game is you are the farmer trying to look after this panda and make sure it's eating properly and stuff like that. You get extra
Okay.
points if it eats a variety of bamboos, and you get more points if you grow in certain ways.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Because I did see on the telly the other day the news that the Japan is sending back the panda to China, and they don't know if they're going to get another one, and it might be the first time in so many 200 years or a few hundred years they won't have a panda.
Yeah.
In Japan. Is that mad or what? Because they got beef at the moment because the Japanese prime minister or president said something about China and they've got issues.
Yeah.
That's just what I see on the news the other day, and I was like, pandas. Yeah. Okay.
But we find that this club attracts a lot of younger people who maybe are somewhere on the spectrum, have autism, some form of learning disability, who haven't had the experience to go out and meet people.
Yeah.
If you're into board games and that's your thing and that's what you really
Yeah.
like, you can't just go out and meet people.
No.
You need that club to
Yeah,
exist.
you do. Yeah. So more clubs so you're saying you need more clubs but then people need to know what they are, like, because we don't, like, I can put resources on, I can put things on that cater for the needs of young people, but I would never in a million years have thought about we need to have a board game club because there are a group of young people that only like board games. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. Like, we know I've got loads of young people that like music, that like podcasting, like gaming, like playing football, basketball, but board game, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I do know board games exist. I do know that people do this, but I never thought of that. That's great input. Never thought about that. So you and your parents set up the board game thing?
Well, they set it up. I took credit with the Wii.
Okay. So why did you not continue it?
We do. It's still running every month.
Oh, okay. So when's the next one?
Oh, that's a good question. Sometime in February.
Is it the first or second Friday?
I think it's the second Friday. I'm not
So
sure.
second Friday of February.
Look it up on the Colville Can website.
Yeah. Go www.colvillecan.com or .co.uk. I don't know. Or
Well,
.org.
I've never done it.
Oh, right. But just look up Colville
On
Can.
here.
So if you're in Colville and you're in the surrounding areas and you're interested in board games, get to Colville Can
www.colvillecan.coop.
Co-op. And it's, so if you want to play board games and get involved, Peter runs the board games here and you can get involved. He's a young man. Very good. That's actually remarkable because, what else does Colville Can do? You know, for people. Ash? Any like how do they do like any kind of like employability stuff, housing, employability stuff?
actually
I remember doing. I didn't do it. I remember my sibling doing the King James something. I can't remember what it's called.
King James?
No, that's wrong.
Princes.
The Prince's Trust.
The Prince's
The
King
Prince's
James.
Trust.
That's the Bible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The
James
King James Bible.
Yeah. Your sibling did the King James Bible.
he read the Bible here.
Read the Bible. I love how you said sibling and then said he. So I assume it's your brother.
Well, they've gone through all of them. So they were born a he. And
Okay.
then they transitioned to she.
Yeah.
Transitioned to they, and then have transitioned back to he.
Okay.
So I say sibling because that's what I was. That's what I've learned to do.
Okay, so you've gone full circle.
We've gone full circle.
Do everyone do what you want. It's your life and you live it. It's only your life. And that's the thing I always tell young people. It's your life. No one else can tell you nothing about that because no one else is ever going to be inside your head. And no one ever is going to be inside your shoes. So you do whatever makes you happy in the world. And that's it. Don't worry about nobody else. Okay, what were you saying?
Oh, that's a good question. We're talking about how Colville Can hosted the Princes.
Oh yeah, the Prince's Trust. Yeah, so they did the employability stuff. Yeah, I think they do. I think they do still do it here. I'm sure I've met the guy from the Prince's Trust here before.
Yeah, I think they definitely
I think
do.
they definitely still do.
And also coming up next month for any female entrepreneurs out there
Okay. Yeah,
is they're doing create your own website. So it's almost coming in.
So
and
you might be interested.
you could create your own website, and they'll teach you how to create your own website. And
I'm interested.
and then you effectively publish the website if you want.
Okay.
At the end of the session.
Do they give you a domain name or stuff then?
Yeah, so it'll all be sorted.
They pay for it for you?
I believe so. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because obviously it's like, you get a domain name, they're like, you get like £4 or £5, depends on.
Yeah.
They're not expensive, are they, to get a domain name?
No.
Yeah, so they'll help you set up all the website stuff if you want to just advertise yourself in the website, and then
Well, I found out you can make websites on Canva.
oh, didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I made one on Canva. But you have to have the pro version
Yeah,
to be able to do it. But once you've got the pro version, you can make your website on Canva and publish it on there, attach a domain name, do the SEO thing, which I never knew nothing about. I didn't realise like so much goes in with it. You anyone know about websites?
nothing.
I did a bit about like building websites in school,
Like
but
the coding side of it.
yeah,
It's
but,
all drag and drop now, isn't it? Don't really do the coding stuff.
I did actually for my project, my A-level computer science project. I had it output onto like a website instead of a desktop application.
Oh, okay. Okay. Katie?
All my college work was put into a website, so we had to create a website. for
Really?
all of
See, I didn't
College
so,
work.
do you know, like the Google stuff when you like, so I search for it and I can't find it on Google, right? It just says, I was like, I did a chat GDP search, like, yeah, you need to do the SEO stuff. Okay, yes. And it still don't show up. I did all that, it still don't show. It's not like I'm good at media and all sorts, so I can work it out. But yeah, it's just there's loads of things I didn't realize you had to do. You have to have the SEO. There was the hosting, the domain name. So I just want a website. I thought you said you could give me a website for free, and I started to pay for everything. But it's done, and I did do it. Just a bit slow, just slowly loads up. So been here about 30 minutes now. So Colville Can. You're going to be volunteering. Ash already volunteers and gets involved in sessions here, right? You clearly volunteer here, Peter.
I don't volunteer. I just show up.
You show up to play the games, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we've touched a little bit about what goes on and what you'd like to. No, we haven't really mentioned about what you'd like to see here, would you? What would you like to see in these these smaller areas and these villages and smaller towns? What would you like there to be extra for you guys to? Obviously, you said about transports. One's a big one, but like, if you could put any kind of resource, just like plonk it in the middle of your area, and it's there, what would you do that would benefit you guys and other young people or the wider community? What one thing?
I would like to see. We're looking at a lot of mental health stuff in the background.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some form of like media training.
Okay.
Not necessarily, and
Like social media training.
yeah, social media training and that sort of stuff. Not you can aim it towards younger people, but I think it should also be parent appropriate as well.
Yeah.
Because it.
I actually think you
it's
should have a
too
course.
easy.
I actually think before anyone uses a device to go on social media, there should be a course
Yes,
of pros and cons, what to watch out for.
and how to.
I really think that
understand
should
what you
be.
see.
I think before you I think they should integrate it into a phone. So when you buy the phone, the first thing you turn on, before you could do anything, you must go through this protocol of, like an interactive course where you understand more.
Yes.
It might help, it might not, but it's safeguards.
Yeah.
It's a safeguard anyway.
Because the issue I found is when I was a lot younger is it's too easy to end up being stuck in your own house,
Yeah.
to get sucked into that world and not escape it.
And I suppose it'd be easier being from a smaller town and villages. It's even easier to get sucked into it because that's your bigger world that you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you elaborate, Ash, on that, please?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of the reason that kids do get stuck inside and going down all sorts of dangerous like rabbit holes on social media and stuff is just because of that lack of third spaces and lack of things to do.
So, okay, growing up then, because I mean, you're all in your 20s now, right?
I'm 19.
19, okay. Nearly.
Almost.
So how? Because social, I've been around before social media, and I remember the beginning 2006, 8-ish, around them times it started really taking off. Facebook and stuff like that did. So I like to think I've still got one foot in the old world where we didn't have that. So it kind of grounds me. But I find social media has kind of, I don't know, my opinion is anyway, that it's actually destroyed. And I'm not saying destroying, I say destroyed society for young people. Young people have lost the ability to communicate. So I'll give you an example. My daughter. If I said to you now with a smiling face, like, stop being a beep beep, right? You can tell I'm not being serious. I'm not being malicious. It's a figure of speech. It's quite jokingly, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas if I say it with more of an angry voice, it's more serious. So you can gauge my tone of how I am. So or if I say stop being a div, right? But if I say it aggressively, you take offense to it. If I say it jokingly, I mean, stop being a div. Come on, let's go. Do you know what I mean? It's got a different meaning due to my tone and the way I deliver it and my mannerisms, right? My observation is social media, young people text a lot. Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever, right? It's all text. Now, if I say, stop being a div on a text, right? And then I say, stop being a div on a text, it translates exactly the same.
Yeah.
The words are the same. You can't get the emotion behind it. You can't get the tone or the feeling, or because that's a human connection that we just have.
Yeah.
And machines can't deliver that, unless you put an emoji next to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even they can be lost in translation too.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of the time when I use like emojis, it's almost, they have almost a different meaning to what, like, if you just looked at the emoji and was like, looked at that face, it has like a different meaning to what you would initially assume.
So that's what I'm saying. So like use emojis. So young people have lost the ability, or not lost it, never gained the ability to have face-to-face communications where they can be in each other's company comfortable, right? But my daughters, I've sat there and watched them all text their friends together. I'm like, just turn your head and open your mouth to ask the question. They're right there. Why are you texting them? It's mad. You don't understand. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, I need to know why. It's a bit crazy. And then, so I'll go back to my daughter originally when I said my analogy, but I remember texting her and I'd left the caps on. Why am I shouting? I hadn't even said anything. I'm writing. Yeah, but you're shouting. How do you know I'm shouting? I'm texting you. You're still doing it. What are you on about? And this went on for ages. And I'm at work, I'm like, what are you on? Are you mad? You're doing my head in now. You're like, I am shouting now. You've been shouting. I'm not shouting. What are you on about? Well, why you got your capitals letters on for? What do you mean? I forgot to turn it off. All right, and then full stops. I put, I know I've got a GCSE in English, so I know at the end of my sentence to put a full stop. Why are you putting full stops for? You're being rude. What are you on about? Because you're being abrupt because you put a full stop. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? Please, just phone me. No more texts. Just phone me, speak to me. Yeah. So a lot of it gets lost in translation. That's what I'm trying to say. So a lot of problems young people are having with each other, especially, so this is more in the cities where it's a bit more violent, lots more youth crime going on and with each other, is they just don't know how to communicate. It's like, he's looking at me, so what do you want to do about it? You got to look at someone. You're like, you got to look somewhere. What are they looking for? Must want beef. That's mad to me. It's like, he hasn't even looked at you. And we get that kind of attitude where everyone's against them and everything is like, if, it's like, I don't want to say it, it's this snowflake kind of thing. They get like, everyone's against them. So anyone challenges them, it's always the negative.
They struggle to interpret social cues.
Interpretate that language, that body language. That's what I'm trying to work out. And it seems like you guys are not. And so that means not every young person are.
The power of university.
Power of university. You got to communicate.
But even at university, I found that it was when you meet someone in person, it wasn't the first time you met someone. You don't approach someone. You don't approach someone in person. You can, but most people don't approach someone they don't know in person. What you do is you find a group and then you text them.
Wow.
And then once you've had the online connection, then you can approach them in person.
Wow.
And it takes a whole...
Are you for real?
There was a big benefit of me doing an acting course because we were all forced to do like a big circle to get to know each other because we're all going to be working together. It was all very primary schooly to begin with.
These are that's the important part of growing up, though, interaction and human interactions, right?
Mm.
So when you two met each other, then
Yes.
Yeah.
you first met each other online.
No.
We met through a mutual friend.
Oh, but did you go up to her and just to Katie and just talk to her, or did you text her first?
I actually talked to her.
Is it okay for me to come over and talk to you?
I was
Mad.
part of the acting group.
Oh, okay.
I'd got into that.
So you was already in that circle.
Yeah, I'd already got into that.
But did you get into that circle for Katie?
No.
Ah.
We met randomly on
You
that.
should have said yes. Shouldn't you, Katie? You should have said yes.
She
should have
knows.
said
I didn't know
yes.
who she was until we met.
You should have said that was my only reason to get in that group. Don't even like acting. That's what you should have said. I want to play football. I want to play it, you know? Okay, that's interesting. Though, but so I just see a lot of young people don't know how to communicate with each other. And that causes a lot of problem. And that's why I use the podcast. Because the podcast, we're now talking, we communicate, we're laughing, we're joking. And if you can get a group of young people together doing that, when you turn the machine off, they still are communicating. You know what I mean? They build more relationships. That's why these things, this is important to break down that barrier and get, that's why I do it. Because I just think like, you know, you three probably wouldn't have talked to each other until you met each other again next week. You know what I mean? Or you probably just walk past each other in the street. Now when you walk past the street, you go, yo Ash, yo Pete, how you doing? What's going on? Now you've communicated, now you've got a connection, you're always going to know each other now. You know what I mean? You don't have to become best of friends, but you've just broadened your surroundings because now you know these two people and now you know Ash. And that's it. And that if that's all it is, that's all it is. But you've just broadened your scope of your network of people that you know and can communicate with. You know, so if you're, you know, if Ash is sitting over there depressed or you're sitting over there depressed and Pete walks up behind and he's like, yo, what's up? How's it going? And that's all it is. And that one thing can change everything. I'm not saying you're going to be over there depressed, but you might be. I might be. And I would like to think if I'm sitting there somewhere, but looking a bit depressed and sad, someone that I know or I've met before who might see me might say, are you all right? What's happening? Or even a stranger, you know? But strangers probably won't do that. But now you've made a connection, that's always a possibility, you know? And I think that's a good start for young people to start building the future that you guys want to see. Now, quickly before we finish, we've got about a minute left. If you can give me one thing you would like to see in your future.
Health.
Protection against social media.
Trans rights.
Trans rights, okay.
It's a solid one.
Yeah, and I would like to see in my future a pair of slippers, a chair like my nan used to had, and a poof, right? And to be able to look back at all you guys doing amazing stuff in the world and the world a better place. If we can do that, I'd be grateful, right? So on that note, we're going to leave it. Thank you for coming to Chatting the Ville at Colville Can. I'm Aaron from Leicestershire Cares, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, Colville, can you hear them calling? Young minds rising, young stars falling. On Chatting the Ville, we